Yes, very serious. So we're reading, we have the verse 16, the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 19. Verse 16 also is on the board. I will start with verse 15, then you should read 15. There's no purport to 15, so in any case. Bhavam acharitam dharman astito krihameribi brahmanai purudhyai surai andhyai shodhamakirtivi. You also have observed the principles followed by great personalities who are householder brahmanas, by our forefathers and by great heroes who are extremely famous for their exalted activities. So I have to share this again. You also have observed the principles followed by great personalities or household brahmanas, by our forefathers and by great heroes who are extremely famous for their exalted activities. Vamandev is speaking to his, not to his father, to his benefactor, Bali Maharaj, giving some, what should I call it, evaluation of his character. Okay, take 16. Can we repeat? Tasmat Tato Mahim Isha Vrine Aham Vadarshavat Vadani Trini Tatyendra Samitani Param Mama Tasmatvato Mahim Isha Vrineham Vadarshavat Padani Trini Daityendra Samitani Paramama Tasmat Vato Mahim Ishad Vrineham Vadarshavat Padani Trini Daityendra Samitani Paramama Tasmat Vato Mahim Ishad Vrineham Vadarshavat Padani Trini Daityendra Samitani Paramama Samaras
Tasmatvato Mahim Ishad Vrineham Vadarshavat Padani Trini Daityendra Samitani Paramama
Tasmatvato Mahim Ishad Vrineham Vadarshavat Padani Trini Daityendra Samitani Paramama Tasmatvato Mahim Ishad Vrineham Vadarshavat Padani Trini Daityendra Samitani Paramama
Tasmatvato Mahim Ishad Vrineham Vadarshavat Padani Trini Daityendra Samitani Paramama Tasmatvato Mahim Ishad
Tasmat,
Tasma,
from such a person.
from such person,
Tata, from your majesty. Mahim,
Mahim,
land. Isat,
Isha,
very little. Brine,
Vrine,
am asking for.
am asking for.
Aham,
Aham,
I.
I,
Vadada Rishabha,
Varadashabha,
from the personality who can give charity beneficially.
from the personality who can give charity beneficially.
Yes. Padani,
Padani,
footsteps.
footsteps,
Trini,
Trini,
three.
Trini,
Daitya Indra,
Dajanindra,
O king of the Daityas.
O King of the Deities,
Samitani,
Samitani,
to the measurement of.
to the measurement of,
Pada,
Pada,
by a foot.
by the foot,
Mama,
Mama,
my.
Maya.
Translation. O king of the Daityas, from your majesty, who come from such a noble family and are able to give charity beneficently, I ask only 3 paces of land to the measurement of my steps. Report. Okay, what happened? Very good. Now I can speak louder. Purport. Lord Vamandev wanted 3 paces of land according to the measurement of his footsteps. He did not want more than necessary, but although he pretended to be an ordinary human child, he actually wanted the land comprising the upper, middle and lower planetary systems. This was just to show the prowess of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the verses were Bhavan acharitam dharmam astito grihame divi Ramanai purvajai surai anjai shodama kirti Tasmat pato mahim ishat Drinaham vadada shabat Vadani trinidai chandra Samitani padamama. Translation. You also have observed the principles followed by great personalities who are household of Brahmanas, by our forefathers and by great heroes who are extremely famous for their exalted activities. O King of the Daityas, from your majesty, who come from such a noble family and are able to give charity beneficently, I ask only 3 paces of land to the measurement of my steps. Hare Krishna. This is interesting. But first, okay, so now you learn how to beg charity. You go and tell the person, of course, I don't know if you should falsely put them up. But if you can give some encouraging words or words of appreciation of the person, and in this case not only of the person himself, but of his family. Of course that's not maybe so easy nowadays. We're coming from such a great family. Of meat eaters and gamblers and drunkards. But okay. Makes it a little bit difficult to ask charity nowadays. What appreciation can you give to the person? Because someone can say, I say, well, you look like a very kind person. In any case, you can make some statement as to appreciate the person, and the person feels a little bit good. It's not so often you get some encouraging words. Mostly we get, I don't know, mostly. I'm in a privileged positions. Encouraging words is coming every now and then. And I'm not quite sure, is it because of my factual qualities or just the position and the position and the protocol, that you should be kind of. So on one hand, it's easy to be, okay, here comes the sannyas, here's the temple president, hopefully you, temple president or presidents or whatever. Someone, and you say, in one sense, okay, yeah, here I should be a little bit respectful. Or then the challenge is to also be respectful to those who don't obviously is in a position like that. So the challenge is to recognize the qualities of a person, not only by the external dress, but their actual qualities manifested. Of course, then also we shouldn't be blind and just sentimental, so to say. Maybe we shouldn't be sentimental, we should be intelligent. Try to be intelligent enough to understand that there must be some good quality in this person, because mostly every person has some good quality. Of course, it's Kali Yuga, so in every person you can find oceans of faults. It's the age of Kali, so most probably, no problem. You will find some faults, very easy. Very easy, or at least it can easily happen that you find some faults. But here, the challenge is if you're going to ask charity, you're not going to come and tell the person, oh yes, it's such a useless person, why don't you give me some charity? You have to be polite. Of course, and is it just to get the charity? Just ask, when we want something, then we're very nice and like that, but then what is our quality? What is our good quality? Are we able to see the good qualities in pure persons always, not just when we're going to ask them charity? That's a good point. So that we have to practice Krishna consciousness always with everyone. And that's Krishna consciousness is. Part of it is that everyone is part of it, part of Krishna consciousness is that everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. That's part of Krishna consciousness. And then another part is that Krishna is in the heart of all part and parcels. The Supreme Lord expands in so many ways. He expands as a living entity also, living entities as well. And so we are expansions of Krishna. Yes, we are. We are expansive. We are tattva, but we are tattva, what was it called? Tatashta, okay, yes. We are the marginal, so we can space out. We can come back again. But still, we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are a kind of expansion of Krishna. So everyone is some kind of expansion of Krishna at least. So it has some quality of Krishna. Even dogs. There's those who know dogs well. If they're just a dog. And then we learn from the scripture also, even from a dog you can learn something. Faithfulness to the master. Sometimes they can sacrifice their life. So they're very glorious dogs sometimes. Maybe more. My father said, he didn't say dogs, but he said animals. He liked the animals better than humans. They were more predictable. I don't understand does the animal, but they can have, when they're affectionate, they exchange affection with you. Well, interesting. Sometimes animals, it's, therefore people that sometimes like animals more than humans. And here's another one. The cats and dogs, I give the cats and dogs. We're going to be, what was it called? Sushi, we're going to be pure, no cats and dogs here. Yes, we should have cats and dogs in the temple. And what to do in the private home, I don't ask too much about. Sometimes the Lord has had cats and dogs also. Now the one interesting thing was that the point with the cats and dogs was that they found out in Sweden that if old people who keep a cat or dog lives longer. Because they have there's something going on, It makes life worth living. And not only that they live longer, they live healthier also. So this is like, I'm sorry, don't contradict or Vaishnava, Vedanta, whatever. That it's dogs, hogs, camels, asses, dogs and hogs, no hogs. Hogs, they can be very affectionate also, I've heard. Because they can become quite fat and big, but okay, the point was that now we heard they are dirty and this, and they are, cat, it's very clean. In its way, a cat is clean. It's not in a clean way, it's clean. It licks itself. I don't know what the dog does. It does something like that. So in the case, so therefore it's dirty from that point of view. Well, now I'm just trying to see the positive things. See, of course, cats and dogs, or at least the dogs, is foreign dogs, you don't know, maybe you should be careful, okay. Well, that all dogs are not the same, and not all humans are the same, and not all Vaishnavas are the same either. They're all different. They're all different, because they're all part and parcel of Krishna. So we say we should all be the same because we're all part and parcel of Krishna. Yes, we're all the same because we're all part and parcel of Krishna. Therefore, we're all different. Because Krishna, when he comes, says it's the one Supreme Personality of Godhead descends in this material world. There doesn't hardly any time, as is described in the Bhagavatam, he appears in the same form. Then he appears as a fish, as a tortoise, as a boar, as a half man, half lion, as a dwarf, and what more? As Parshuram, angry, and is Krishna happily playing on his flute, with Balaram carrying a plow, I don't know what's more. And then he comes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, just dancing and having a good time, talking about Krishna. And then he's going to come as Kalki, as a white horse with a sword, killing the demons or something. He is the the one Supreme Personality of Godhead, But he appears in so many, every incarnation is a little bit different. And then, of course, he appears as Narayan, 4 arms, but then instead of 4 arms, sometimes has 8 arms. And, and sometimes it's white and sometimes it's blackish. We could ask, can he not decide for himself what he's going to be? But this is maybe his decision, that I'm not going to be stereotyped. Krishna is not stereotyped. Oh, here comes the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of God. Yes, there is description, there is sign mark, but at the same time, he manifests in various ways. Every time. So then the amazing thing, every living being is a part and parcel of the Supreme, and he does be the same. And they all the same differently. They all, each and every single living entity is different. That's what and then they say even, the snowflakes that comes. Not one snowflake is exactly like the other snowflake. And that makes the snowflakes the same. You can't. You got it with the snowflakes?
Yeah, they're all different.
Yeah, they're all different. And that in that way they're all the same. But there's certain characteristics that are the same, but within that frame it's all different. That is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. And then that's supreme, so we're all part and parcel of Krishna. We're all manifestations of Krishna, whether we like it or not. Yes, I'm a manifestation of Krishna. Yes, a tiny, tiny. And Krishna is so kind. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is in the heart, so there's another part of the Krishna, being Krishna consciousness, yes, that is in the heart of all living entities. Or he expands himself. He expands as a living entities, and then he expands himself as a Paramatma as well. That's to say, take care. He expands himself to take care of the expansion. And we can say that's Krishna's great love or affection for the living entities. Of course, Krishna is not attached. We can't really, we don't know for sure what's here. Let's see here. Let's see what it says. No, he said, we may say Krishna loves you. I don't know how much he loves you. He loves me so much. You know why have pain in my knees or why doesn't it make everything nice? Okay, so Krishna, well, we used to say that Krishna loves you, okay. Have to be try to be positive. Because Krishna's love, we can say Krishna's love and affection for his creation is different than maybe from our love and affection. Now it says like this, Samaham sadvanuteshu namepeshus dina priyaham ebadyanti tumam bhaktya maiti teshu shakaham. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I'm equal to all. So this is, I find interesting. It's not envious, but it doesn't say I love everyone. It says I'm not envious of anyone. I'm not partial to anyone. If you love someone, maybe you're partial to the person. My wife, my friend, you know, the friends can, you know, Maharaj, can't you give me some favor? I'm your friend. You know me. Something like that. Then we can say the mundane, maybe in the mundane world, or I don't know, creation, around the world, what is it, corruption of various kinds, what do we call that? When they give favors to their relatives, you know, and this power of position, he has my relatives, you know, he should have this minister post or something like that. So that is, we call that love, but that's not to be equal to everyone. So Krishna is not of that kind. Nor am I partial to anyone. I'm equal to all. In order to be equal to all, in one sense you have to love everyone equally, or not love everyone equally. In one sense, you know, equal. It's balance, you know, there's not really. It's not favorable, it's not exactly favorable like that, and at the same time it's not exactly unfavorable either. It's just there. What do you need? You know, all living entities is giving intelligence to every single spirit soul. It looks like. So that way, Krishna loves. Okay, the point was to ask charity. So, you know, if you're going to ask charity, you have to be nice to, you have to be nice. So in any case, you ask in the proper way. And we learn from this that you flatter and flatter, but you give some words of appreciation of the person, and then the person feels yes. And here in this case, Vamana, I mean, this is really exalted personality, the king of the demons. And the demons of those times were really great persons. Compare with how those, in any case, there's demons. There was demon. Hiranyakashipu wasn't nice. Wasn't. In any case, This demon is nice. Bali Maharaj. I mean, then Hiranyakashipu, then there's Prahlad Maharaj, who's the king of the demons. He's the best, how is it Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, among the Daityas, I think he says it's Prahlad. Being born in a demon family, but still being a Vaishnava, so that's okay. But then he has his grandson, and then I think Bali Maharaj is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. So what? Yes. The demons of those times, they could be really good. You know, they acted on principle. And that we can learn. And that we may have to learn. Because we're coming from this society where we don't act on principle. We act with lust, greed, anger, not according to principle. And thus we are weak. We are not worth any appreciation because we don't act according to principle. We act according to and when we act according to our own whims. I read about one book. It was a devotee in Sweden named Prahlad. He's grown up with Krishna consciousness. He told me a little bit about the book. I'm going to tell you something. I think interesting point there about acting on principle. And that had a little bit to do with habits. It can become a habit to act according to principle. It's something. It starts with a lady. Actually, the whole thing starts with a lady who is a chain smoker. Smoking. Just one cigarette after the other. Every morning when she wakes up, the first thing she has to do is to light a cigarette, smoke a cigarette, and then she can go on with her life. It just became a habit. So then she had to stop smoking, so then she had to reprogram herself. And that was to what? As first thing when she got up, I don't know what, if it would go to the toilet and wash off herself or something. He said, cigarette, no, go. She had made a conscious effort to do something else. Okay, when I get to the thing that I'm going to think that I'm going to smoke a cigarette the first thing, then I'm going to go to the shower first, something like that. Well, it took some time and she really had to work on it. But she actually got out of the habit of smoking cigarettes. Oh, so maybe it still be something. Okay, so in any case, in Roshi or something, they've tried to figure out this, you know, what's a habit? What makes someone... There's some point, situation, and you just get triggered, and you do the same thing. It's a little bit... Very much we do actually just in habit. Just reflex. I'm not sitting here talking, more reflex. But, singing our prayers. We love them, we know them, and we sing. And then you may ask me, what is that verse? What's the fifth verse of the Vipashka? What is it? Fourth verse of the Shikshashtakam. If I chant the Shikshashtakam from the beginning to the end, okay, we're going to take out one. So that's me. It's difficult. We know. We do very much things in Krishna consciousness, doesn't it? Okay, we pay our obeisances. I'm not thinking really too much what we're doing. Yeah, I should pay. Or, you know, yes, okay, certain things just triggers us. We go into certain mechanisms we do. Well, a little bit driving a car also. You don't think about driving a car. You don't have to think that what am I going to do now? Oh yes, I'm going to. You just do it. You just press the brake. You just press the clutch. You just change. You don't think about it. Interesting. Or acting on principles. That's the point. So it has to become a habit to act according to principles. It this situation, no, this is the right thing to do. Whether it is legible or not is another question. But in this situation, should come like automatic. Okay, there was the story about these habits or something. Was one guy was a big business company or aluminium factory, something in USA, and had like factories all over USA, and it was going down. And in this factory, they had a lot of deaths because it was a dangerous business. So they got a new, what do you call it, CEO? CEO is executive guy. And he was going to save the company. So then he kept a speech to the, I don't know, whatever, it was the shareholders. And he didn't say anything about the economy. He didn't say how he was going to save the economy and everything. Otherwise, that's what you say, investment and expansion thing. He says, we're going to make one point clear, that this year we're going to have zero tolerance for any death. This year, we're not going to tolerate anyone dying in the factories. That was the only thing he said. That was his only message. And then he made a message. He made a rule that any death accident, any accident in this whole thing, at least death accidents, had to be directly reported to him. So they made a change of habit. Because that became a habit that yes, people die in the workplace, it's acceptable. But he changed it that it's not acceptable that anyone dies in our factories. Quite good. I mean, to change paradigm, if you say like that, change habit. Become principle center. You need money here, that's the point. You need money. Okay, the house-to-house charity. Okay, the point is house-to-house charity. Okay, the point was that, okay, we ask charity and we want them to, we may flatter them and point out the good qualities, but then also the question is, what is our qualities? That will make them want to give charity to us. Because say, if you put it that way. What's our quality that will make them give charity to us? In any case, so this big company there, he was very radical. So there was one factory, there was someone died, or a few died or something, but he fixed everything, but he didn't report it to the CEO, what do you call it, the top guy. So then the top guy came to know that this guy, the one who failed to report, he was actually most qualified, whatever, manager the whole thing. And he said, "You're fired." You're fired. Because you didn't follow the rules. When this happens, you have to report to me. And you didn't. Therefore, you're fired. You say, okay, you should do like this, but you didn't do it, okay, go on. Now, he said, you're fired. Everyone said they said, those who know, so that this is crazy, how you can fire such a person. He's so qualified. Now, fire him because he didn't act according to principle. He blew it. And when this guy started off, many thought he was just a hippie. How can such a kind of hippie put him as a boss of the whole this big corporation? So they were selling out their shares. 5 years later, that company was booming again. Because he established a different principle. And the point is, the death rate went down very, very drastically. And at this point, that we accept no death. No one could argue with that. that it was not the correct principle. So the, what do you call it, the labor union, otherwise it's labor union and they're fighting and over wages and everything. But that is no, we don't accept it. Yeah, the labor unions can just say, great. It was not a question of wages and this and that. The point was about saving people's life. No one should die on our factories. So it became a radical, and that became the, what do you call it? The paradigm, the rules. Everyone all this concern was upon, we don't tolerate any death. We don't tolerate any space out in terms of security. To the degree that someone drives on the road, I see that some road workers and they've not put up the warning sign as they should do by the road. So then this guy stops, goes up to work and says, you have not put up that warning sign, do it. You can't tolerate that you get killed by accidents. Because it became a principle. Grind in. And it became like automatic. They just established that this is the principle by which we act. So we can say even these demons in the old time had principles, and therefore they are respected. The problem is that they're not devotees of Krishna, and we are devotees of Krishna. We're supposed to be so big. So the question is, what principles are we acting according to? I can ask myself. I think it sounds good. Keep it in mind. But it's a challenge to be a leader. This guy, he did a good job in that factory, and it became, 5 years later, it was like big. And those who had sold out their shares, they said, that was big. I lost a few millions that way, dollars. Because they realized that actually that was the right way to go, to establish proper principles. So Vamandev, he established proper principles. He points out, your forefathers this, and you're great, and you acted like this, and wonderful. And then he asks his charity, and he also asks, I just want 3 steps of land according to, what does it say here? I also only 3 paces of land to the measurement of my steps, because this is Krishna. I was spoken of principles of Krishna, It states on my steps. Okay, what are they? Okay, I'm not speaking about principles, and Krishna cheats, or tricks. Yes, it's tricks. According to my steps, okay. And he's just a small dwarf, they call him dwarf. Brahmachari, young boy. It's not big steps. That is but Prabhupada in the purport says he did not want more than necessary. That's maybe an important also. We ask for what's necessary. Why don't many times it looks to me in our movement, we always have hardly just enough money. Many times we just hardly have enough money. I mean, whatever our mission is, we will get just hardly enough for that. So, if our mission is down there, well, Krishna will give up to there, so to say. What do you need? And if someone who doesn't really have a vision, and you give them money, they end up in big trouble. These stories about someone, not true stories, about all these people who win on the lottery millions, many times, all and all, but many times a year, I at least have heard some, they get these millions of dollars or whatever it is, kunas, or they could have been living a happy life for the rest of the life, after half a year, 1 year, there's nothing less than worse than the fool. Because they don't know how to use it. Thanks, Krishna, that you don't give us more money than we can use. if you only know this, then Krishna, according to our capacity, Krishna gives. As I surrender unto me, I reveal myself accordingly. That's good. Sounds good. As they can take care of things, accordingly I give. They're giving a good and nice building. Take care of it. Okay. He did not want more than necessary. Okay, then the question is, what is necessary? So now if we have a big plan, then we have a greater necessity and we may get one. Because it was necessary. Because then the question is, what is necessary? The question is, what is necessary? In case Vamandev here he has a mission, he's meant to put things straight in the universe, he's going to take the whole universe. That was necessary. Well, Prabhupada said, but although he pretended to be an ordinary human child, he was shining like the sun there. Everyone was charmed by him, everyone was attracted by him. He is the Supreme Personality of God, he's coming as a child. Children in general tend to be charming many times, but maybe not all the times, but many times. And here is the Supreme Lord coming as a young child. So of course, he's attractive. So it is inspired the desire in Bali Maharaj to give charity. They hadn't even asked for any charity, and Bali Maharaj wants to give. That is what the devotee should be like. I remember that point. Be so shining, wonderful, and whatever that people say, hey, I want to give you. Okay, give you something. Okay. So he says, he actually wanted the land comprising the upper, middle, and lower planetary system. This which that should show the prowess of the Supreme Personality of God. The Supreme Personality of God, everything belongs to him. Now, the question is, what belongs to us? Or what do we really need? So that is, as devotees in general, we are satisfied with little. Or less. We are not too extravagant. Maybe some devotee has more money, but then in any case, most probably one way or another. Okay, Krishna. So Vamandev is coming into the scene and he is going to just take 3 steps of land. And let's see if it comes next verse, but in any case he says 3 steps of land is as much land a brahmachari needs to put out. You're sleeping back. You need 3 steps of the floor and the roof. The place your sleeping bag takes. That's how much you need. Of course, it's a little bit tough to live that life. As a brahmachari, then you become a little bit older and this and that. But the brahmachari life, actually, the brahmachari life is the beginning state. And then later on you get grihastha, sannyasa, or something. You may need more than 3 steps of land. But in any case, the point is we accept what we need. I need this. And what we need, we can take. Then we're not a thief. When we take more than we need, then we become a thief. Why have more? Because the difficulty nowadays is that, I don't know what's in your temple, if you have a pile of clothes lying somewhere. In Germany, when I joined, we had the temple and my economy was not good. There was no scarcity of old clothes. There was all these old clothes. Not just from us, but people who came and thought that we were going to give us something old that didn't need, so they came and gave it to the temple. Quite interesting. So if you're satisfied with old clothes, it's enough. If you're not satisfied with old clothes, then you have to give big charity and buy something. Okay, the point was that at Almvik, I just say this, in some or other, how much do we actually need, At Dalvik we have this, you can try it here if you want. I don't know, maybe it doesn't fit you. We have a lot of empty rooms there. And 40 adults and 30 kids and 12 families. We have this second-hand shop. It's not really a shop, it's a trading place. When the kids have grown up, the clothes, the parents go with the clothes there. And others clothes are going. You put all old clothes you don't need, you can go deposit there. And then another devotee can come and say, okay, this is nice jacket, this is nice trousers, and they can take. And if you're an outsider, you pay 5 kunas to take something. That way, that's very economical. Actually, you can save so much. Well, actually, you want the latest fashion, fine, it's maybe not the right place, but so as a brahmachari, I don't know, sons. I think the principle is we take what we need, but not more. Then we can live happily without anxiety. And when you get more than you need, then you start to get anxiety. Look in Vrindavan. The bigger house, the bigger wall. Maybe don't see it so much here, but even here you can see, the more fancy house and more expensive, the more security around it. So the less, the more anxiety. The more you have, the more anxiety. Why all this insecurity? Well, because your anxiety. And someone come and rob you and kill you and all these kind of things. So maybe it's not really what you need. And then you can go. Then you can see that in Vrindavan also, you can see it here, and then you can well then in Vrindavan, I'm not quite sure about Vrindavan. But in Mayapur, I know, when I go to Mayapur and I go this road I remember this road into Jagannath Mandir from the main road. So along that road there is like people living in the mud houses. I think they're Muslims, but in any case, there are these mud houses, and there's no security arrangement. If you like, you can just walk in. I don't know if that works. But in any case, they have what they need, they're happy, That's a happy life. Not more than you need, not more than necessary. Because the point is, we're living in a society that actually there's so much surplus in this society. Still, this is interesting. There's so much surplus in this society, and still people are poor. Still, there's people that's poor. That is bad management. Okay, Krishna. Because that's also the demons, the demonic way. So the old-time demon was actually quite good, because it's still, they have some principle. Just like Jarasandha, we know him. Big demon. He wanted to kill Krishna. Well, then they thought of a way to defeat Jarasandha. In case, I think it was Krishna, Bhima, Arjuna, yeah. They decided, okay, they're going to go there and they're going to disguise as Brahmanas. Okay, that's mentioned here also. Someone disguising as a Brahmana and then asking charity from something, grandfather or father, Bali or something. So in any case, and then Jarasandha looks at these Brahmanas. Well, you don't look like Brahmanas. What do you want? Well, okay, yes, we are asking charity from you, fight with you. Then Jarasandha says, yes, they were sticking to the word, yes. Okay, who is? I think you say, oh, you're just pretending to Brahmanas. Well, of course, if they could have come like Kshatriyas also, I don't know, but somehow this was a plan. But then Jarasandha said, but this Krishna, I don't want to fight with him, he's useless. I fight with Bhima. I think that was something. In any case, But Krishna was there at the end, he made some sign to Bhima that after 28 days he was fighting. And then they fought during the day, and in the evening they were taking prasadam together or something. They were peaceful. That's quite interesting culture. He said even the culture was that if you come to someone's home, even if you were an enemy, it was treated so nicely that you felt no fear. It's different from nowadays. Maybe if you feel from the friends, I don't know what you can, Okay, principle. So he acted on principle, of course, and then Bhima, whatever that, okay, that's the way Jarasandha, he was like put together by Jara, his witch. He was born in two halves or whatever. She joined them together, made it into a child. And we could know something like joined by Jara. And then so the way to destroy him was to separate him. Okay, so that Krishna. So let's see what Vamadev will do here. He's asking, we just ask a little bit. Another trick. I don't want to give any charity. Well, just ask a small donation. We just need a little bit. Can you give something? Yes, I can. Okay, guys. But once they start then agreeing to give, then maybe we can give more. I know that when we started with Sankirtan in Germany, when I was starting in Germany, they were doing Sankirtan. And the point was, we were going with Harinam and we had magazines at the same time. Because the Harinam party stood in one place and a handful of devotees were in the Harinam party, a handful were distributing the main streets. Point was that anyone, they could always give something. They didn't ask, it has to be a big donation, just ask something, give them one penny. I know kuna, what is less than a kuna? What is your?
Lipa.
Lipa, okay, is that 100th of a kuna?
100 lipa. Lipa is 1 one.
100 lipa is 1 kuna, okay. So you can ask for 1 lipa, but of course you don't have such coins nowadays. In Sweden we used to have lipa equivalent, and now we only have kunas. Swedish kunas. I think we don't even have the 50 lipas anymore. Okay, so you ask 1 kuna, give 1 kuna. Maybe, can you just say Hare Krishna? Okay, Hare Krishna, give him the smile. And that way, if you're going to beg, be prepared to take a little and whatever, appreciate it. Okay, so we're learning from Vamadev to be good beggars. To accomplish our mission. We're beggars, begging people to take the Krishna consciousness. Let's say one Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, any question, comment? Yes,
Svaki dan kad zaustavim osobu i kad zapravo kažem ono što nudim i ko sam, ja zapravo kad tražim donaciju, odmah iza toga nekako želim raspoložiti osobu, pa kažem jeste uvijek tako vedri, odnosno mirni. I onda to ih onako jednostavno dovede u situaciju da daju raspoloženu donaciju.
When I approach people, stop them in Sankirtan and represent them what I'm offering, and then after, when I ask them for donation, I tell them always, you are always so cool and happy, and people are. Sorry?
He tells them.
Yeah, he tells them, and people like that. They feel like, and then they're easy for them to give. And they give in good mood.
Yes.
Jer to zapravo je rijetko ko govori i to je mi imponira.
Because rarely somebody talk to them that way, and then they are impressed by that.
Yes, if you can say some encouraging words.
Da, možda
What would you say? You're so cool and
ohrabrujúce. Cool and happy.
happy. He's cool. But it makes him happy to hear it.
Meni to učini sretnim da čuju takve riječi.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Well, in one sense you project, in one sense you make a statement, in one you project, and it actually creates a reality.
Ti kažeš to i da ti projeciraš njihovu realnost. I onda on stvari pripremi.
There's something, I'm not happy, I'm not cool.
No.
Nisam motiviran.
Does it happen?
Da li se nekad tako desi da ne?
ali dogodi se isto tako, pa mislim stvarno, vi stvarno mislite da sam ja miran i vedan.
Yeah, it's happened like that, but also happened that somebody started to think and you ask, like, seriously, do you really think that I'm so cool and positive?
Onda ja kažem, da, ja se bavim jogom i vi imate lijepu vibraciju.
Then he said, I'm practicing yoga and I can sense that you have very good vibration.
To ih onda još više.
That make them more like, inspired.
Okay, then the question is well, the fact is you're practicing yoga.
Jedno pitanje da li ti zbilja prakticiraš yoga?
Pa to je dobro pitanje.
That's a good question.
You're certainly practicing yoga, so you certainly have to have some power to sense this.
Ja, važno je moć da to osjetiš.
Of course, Hare Krishna. Yes. Because if you just make it as a trick, it's one thing, but if you actually can make it a reality, you can think, well, actually, you're part and parcel of Krishna. You know, you're cool. You're actually happy. You can actually see people that way. Change. This is a way change the reality. Okay, there was some question here.
You mentioned also in the lecture that demons have principles and they are also kind of respected. So Krishna
These
said,
are demons in the Bhagavatam.
yeah, okay. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that actually from the demons doubts arise. But on the other side, doubt gives us a kind of more reflecting ability and some more possibilities. So my question is, since material world is dual kind of world, or duality is always, it has a beginning, it has an end, and everything is kind of changing, transforming, but in a wrong way. That's perverted reflection. But on the other side, Krishna has a duality principle. He's indivisible, and he is also what you said also. He is always actually the same, but still he's completely individual and completely different. So that's also kind of duality. So we can actually learn from this that duality is very important. But how then this kind of doubts understand them?
Can you translate on creation? Your question, Marcus?
Pitala sam, Maharadž je spomenuo da su u stvari demoni, on je rekao u Šrimad Bhagavatamu, su također respektabilni i se drže određenih principa. Ja sam navela da Krishna kaže u Bhagavad Giti da su sumnje, se smatra da su demonske osobine kad god neka sumnja se javlja. Međutim, moje pitanje je bilo, jer materijalni svijet je dualan i imamo uvijek nekakve izmjene nekog početka i nekakvog završetka i sve su uvijek mijene, znači dualno je sve. S druge strane, opet je rečeno, Krishna kao takav je dualan, znači da je istovjetan, uvijek je, nikad se ne mijenja, uvijek je stalan, a s druge strane opet je nedjeljiv i kompletno je individualan i kompletno je različit od svega. Znači, sadrži u sebi principualnosti.
Well, yes, I say the demons of the Bhagavatam tend to have qualities, like in this case, he's also the king. But of course, he's the king of the demon. At the same time, as Rakshasas